example, the relationship points. You had mentioned earlier that someone who had gone through traumatic experiences in a relationship aspect may find it very difficult to get married, but they still want to have kids. Okay, what are some of the effects one can go through?
Now, trauma affects people differently, and how a person would react to trauma depends on a number of things. Like if this person has ever gone through a traumatic experience before, if this person is well equipped to handle that traumatic situation, and yes, there are people who would detach themselves. Let's say in relationships, if someone was in a toxic relationship, they would want to detach themselves from every other relationship, as long as they consider or they let whoever they were in that relationship with atakuja hii picture. Let's say for example, you and I were dating, and ikakuwa that relationship was toxic. So wakati break it off, you would consider any other man to be toxic to you. So you would want to cut them off because you don't want to be in that toxic relationship.
Yes.
Yeah.
How else can someone be affected by these traumatic events? Let's stay there on relationship points, because this is something that has really affected most people, young people.
I will say, okay, when it comes to relationship, a person will not want to have any other relationship, because he or she still considers that what if it will fail again, you see. So you have fear, there will be a growth of fear in you. So unapata ile like it's like I don't want to try. Unaona, what if nikitry fail again? So uko hapo hivyo katikati, so you wouldn't want to enter into another relationship.
Kwani nini inaweza kuwa imefanyika hadi mtu anasema hivyo?
Well, one thing that happens once someone goes through a traumatic experience, it becomes really difficult for them to stop focusing on what, in as much as it's something that already happened, but their focus sana inakuwaga on that thing that happened, in as much as they are not in danger at that moment, but they might be feeling they are in danger. So probably that's why hatataka kuko involved in that particular relationship, because they feel it's a threat to them at that particular moment. Like, okay, hiyo event bado ni fresh to them.
Still fresh. Yeah. And kumbuka ni kama it happened jana.
Yes, they're still living in that moment bado.
Okay, how else can someone be affected by these traumatic events? Apart from being now shunning away from being in a relationship, that is in a relationship aspect, right? Okay, away from that.
Okay, away from that, a person will want to isolate him or herself from other people. So utapata tu mtu, because this and this happened to him or her, anataka tu kukua away from, yani utaki kujiassociate with other people, you don't want to do some other things or evil. So unapata you just shun away, you don't want to be with other people.
Sorry about that.
At times people they would want to avoid particular events or particular places because of a traumatic experience. Utapata someone they wouldn't want to go to, let's say place ka Nairobi, because of what they experienced in Nairobi, or a soldier wouldn't want to go back to the battlefield because of what they experienced in that battlefield. At times people also experience, but sasa hii ni wakati imeenda sana, they may experience nightmares. Unapata mse usiku unaamka and you're screaming because you're still living in that moment. At times people they even are not able to sleep. Their sleeping patterns inakuwa affected, inakuwa interfered vibaya sana, or even their eating patterns zinakuja zinabadilika. This person, there are things that they would not want to eat, there are things that they would want to eat. At times they don't eat at all because to them bado hawaja deal with whatever happened to them, and they don't know how to deal with it. That is why wanajipata behaving in particular manner ile hatutasema normal person would behave.
What about work performance? Can they really perform well
Pana utapata performance yao ina deteriorate. So as in vile alikuwa na perform before, when it comes to tuseme to business, si hivyo. Tuseme alikuwa anafikanga job by 8. Tuseme unapata tu out of nowhere ameanza kuchelewa, unnoticeable tu, as in si ile ati umepatikana na shughuli, unajipata tu time imenini, unapata yani you are just lazing around, hauna psych. So inafanya performance yako when it comes to work ina nini
Your
inashuka.
concentration, your focus, your goals.
Kila kitu ina nini inashuka tu, yani you are just there.
Okay.
And also at times people try to cope up with these traumatic experiences by trying to engage in drug and substances abuse. I remember last week the topic was drug and substance abuse.
Yes,
And-
overcoming addictions.
And overcoming addictions.
Yeah.
And one of the major reasons why people abuse drug and substances is so that they run away from reality. And this particular set of people, having experienced, gone through traumatic experience, they would want to really avoid that reality. And one way that they find themselves doing, is taking drug and substances, mostly alcohol, because inapatia gum to like you for inakuwaga na effect fulani that you would feel utafeel too poor, and like any other drug. So they would run to drug and substances abuse. At times people atakuwa nakunywa caffeine in large contents, because caffeine is inafanya mtu unakuwa like it's a stimulant. So utafeel ukiwa stimulated, but it's only because you're trying to make yourself feel better. So most of these people would try to use or abuse alcohol and substances because they want to feel better.
And just to avoid thinking of what happened.
Yes, and to avoid also being in that situation, because wakati yako sawa, they would be thinking about that traumatic event. And if they don't have someone especially to talk to, inakuwa drug and substances ndo itakuwa number one thing that they would run to.
Let's talk about trauma in a home setting, in a family setting. How can someone say that they're being traumatized in a family, maybe in a family setup?
Pia trauma ziko home kwetu, home as in at home. So you will find you will find that as in kuna kitu unafanyiwa that you don't like at home, yani you don't like. Tuseme okay, mara kibao utapata tuseme mama aliolewa akiwa na watoi, so the husband mwenye amemwoa unapata apendi hawa watoi, so the treatment that anawapea inafanya huyu mmoja na feel like as in anakuwa traumatized. Why they wanapenda hao wengine, they don't like me, so analive akiwa na trauma na maybe ana someone to speak to. Tena unapata mara nyingine maybe as in hiyo treatment inakuwa too harsh, maybe yeye ndo anaambiwa tu afanye kila kitu, as in inamfanya tu anakuwa traumatized.
And some maybe they are even denied basic necessities like food and clothing. What else?
You'd find that in a family setup, one of the most common events that can traumatize children is when baba na mama wanapigana nyumbani, and it happens maybe in a family where the father is a drunkard or the mother is a drunkard and anakuja home akiwa amelewa. You'd find that most of those families huwa wanapigana, and it really affects the children, because number one, you'd find that the children would emulate that probably. Wataenda shuleni, and what would they do? Rafiki yake akimkosea inakuwa ni brawl. Or at times this child atakuwa detached from being associated with friends because of whatever they went through back at home. So a lot of children really suffer, especially when wanaona wazazi wao wakiwa violent or wakipigana. And at times it affects them even wakiwa watu wakubwa, because in their families you'd find that kwa sababu huyu mtu yeye amegrow up akijua baba na mama kosana nini inaendelea, ni vita. And it happens that hata yeye akiwa wakati atakuwa mkubwa anajua the only way ya kukosoa mama ni and it happens, it does happen. And at times it reaches a point that there are children who would ata huyo mtoto ata grow up akisema mimi sitaki kukuwa na mtu kama baba yangu in a family. If that is what a father is, then afadhali mimi nikae na watoto nikiwa peke yangu, and they would choose watalea watoto wakiwa peke yao. They would look for kids, but they wouldn't want a father figure associating within that family setup. So it really affects children to the point, even when they are grown up, unless this child finds proper support, ina affect mbaya sana.
Yeah, it's very true, because you look at marriages in this 21st centuries. There are a lot of single women, a lot of them.
Most marriage, actually
Most.
many marriages zinaanza kuwa hivyo, like women are choosing to be by themselves and their children, and they wanaendelea hivyo, but it's really sad state of affairs, if you ask me.
It's a sad thing.
It is, because for a proper family to function, it needs the father, it needs the mother, it needs the children.
But if the father is there, very present, but yet very absent, so tell me, what do you need him for? So you'd rather be single? Ama, what do you think?
Actually, being present while still
you're
absent.
Very absent, but he's very present.
Well, then that's not a father, that's just someone in your house who is acting like a father.
So that's why women prefer to be single, because someone you refer to as your husband,
But okay,
mnafaa msapotiane, mnafaa msaidiane, but kama ni wewe sasa unafanya kila kitu, wewe ndio unasomesha watoto, you provide for this person, unalipa rent, unafanya nini, sasa mbona akoe tu hapo?
but I wouldn't really place blame on the man, because for a lady, you have to choose to be in that relationship, right?
Yes.
So it was a choice that you chose this man despite knowing
Maybe
all
it was
his
good when
shortcomings.
it was starting. Things were good.
Maybe.
But along the way, things just went like that.
But if someone is not being productive to you, then it's better you just cut them off.
Thank you. Letting go. That one, it's part of inner healing. Letting go, yes.
But that's where we have to, like, we really have to be keen on the people that we choose as partners. Like we really need to scrutinize, jua marafiki zake, jua his strengths, his weaknesses. And also, ni poa kufanya background check. Like, jua umse familia yao inakuwa gaje. Are the parents still together? Like, do proper research. Usiende tu mtu because umeona he's a good person. Do proper research. We should do proper research.
Yeah, it is very essential.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say you just let go immediately, because there are seasons in life. So maybe ilikuwa ile time ya amekosa for a period of time. You never know about the future. So you're just not supposed to let go immediately.
Okay, and when things don't just change,
If they don't work out, then I would advise that you let go.
things.
So how long would you say someone should stay?
Okay, pia depending on how anajaribu I will say anaput efforts, ama he's just there. If he's trying, then you can just give him time if he's trying, but kama ako tu hapo like a dummy, I wouldn't say.
Sometimes trying is not good enough. He's trying, but it is not good enough. So you just give this person maybe 2 to 3 months.
Well, that
Yes.
would be a bit harsh. That would
It
be
is not harsh.
it is a bit harsh.
For the sake of your mental well-being, it is not harsh.
Okay, if that relationship is toxic, then that's when you are supposed to cut ties. But if it's a good relationship, ni tu labda tunasema finances ndo zinakosa or something like that, then that's a different story. That becomes something different.
So let's say this person was brought up in an abusive family. The father was really beating the mom. So when this person grows up, you find that violence ni kama language yake. Anything he wants to pass across lazima ya accompany violence. Sasa ukitry kuunderstand huyu mtu mtaelewana, kwa sababu yeye kila kitu ni violence kwake. Kama chakula imepita chumvi, hiyo ni violence. Akipata watoto wajaoshwa ni violence. Juu sasa yeye ni kama alielewa violence is a form of communication, it's a language.
So to him, he speaks through violence.
but akiongea hataki kufanya hivyo but anajipata.
Well, I'd say this. Every behavior that someone has, it's because they learnt it from somewhere. Every behavior. And every behavior that we have, it's because of a thought that has crossed our minds. So ndo huyo msee afikie amekuwa violent, it's because it's a behavior that he learned somewhere. But here's the good thing. You can unlearn a behavior and learn a new one. That's why we keep on telling people that jifunze ata coping skills, because it's something that we can learn. So in as much as utasema this person is aggressive, he's violent, but they can learn on better ways of dealing with situations. We can't solve everything with hatuwezi tukasolve kila kitu na kifua. There are times where we need to apply reason and logic in order for things to work. Kwa sababu utapiga mtu maybe umuumize, but you wouldn't have solved anything. But if you would, kama ungekuwa umemsikiza, maybe something would have changed.
So what about our soldiers wako kwa jeshi? They have gone through these things. Maybe, okay, the way you just said, nobody can be trained fully to cope with these things ama to kuzielewa na kuzibeba, si ndio? So napata huyu soldier wakati anakuja nyumbani, this a retired soldier, maybe alikuwa kwa KDF, amefika nyumbani, those things inamfanya unapata unasikia kwa news ati alichukua bunduki akaua bibi na watoto, just like that. Hawakuwa wamekosana, there was nothing. Nini huwa inakuwa issue hapo?
Okay, I guess issue ni kutokujielewa first. As in, because hata akikuwa kwa battlefield, of course aizichukua tu gun na akaua anyone. Na mtu pengine akokuwa in a wrong side, ama akokuwa na fight, ama akokuwa yendo gangster, you see. So I guess kuna some things zinapushingi mtu kufanya vitu zingine. Like kuna kitu maybe that person was going through, ni vile akokuwa na any other way of letting it go. So unaona anajipata tu amechukua gun, hiyo ndio way yake ya kujaribu kurelease. So utapata alikuwa na issue apart from hiyo. It could be either depression, as in utapata tu there was another issue ikamtrigger kufanya nini, kushoot.
Let's talk about trauma kwa mtu mwenye, let's say about doctors ama someone working in the morgue. Hao watu wanakuanga traumatized ama they are just okay?
Well, acha tutumie live example yenye tulikuwa nayo, the Shakahola case. Kuna wase wenye walikuwa employed wanaenda kufukua the graves. These people were actually given some time. Haukukuwa unafanya kazi throughout. You are given a specific duration, unafanya kazi, unaenda unbury, the bodies. And then after that they were taken to a camp where they were given psychological help. So in as much as msee unaweza kuwa unafanya kazi kwa environment ngumu, let's say people morgue attendants, let's say doctors, say unaingia surgery, unakata watu, it's not really a pretty sight, but they have systems in place, I believe for doctors, where they go and debrief or they go and talk to someone, and hata wakati hata leave hiyo place, they won't have that thing wameenda wameibeba sana. But also we have doctors wenye they don't want to talk about the things that they're experiencing. We have them. Tukona wenye wao wanataka tu kufanya kazi kama kawaida, but it reaches a point where it becomes too much and they really have to look for help. So for morgue attendants, I'm not really sure wasa ufanyaje kazi. Kuna wenye wanasema wanatumia bangi, which I'm not really sure, but they also need similar systems where they can have someone they can go talk to. Inaweza kaa ni kama ni kazi simple, but simple. This person, you can imagine looking at bodies for a living all day, unazitengeneza. It's not really something, ni kazi yes, but it's something that they also need to have psychological help afterwards. Mali atakuwa anaongeleshwa, hata yeye mwenyewe anakuwa na a peace of mind afterwards.
Okay, so we are saying bottom line is that anyone can get traumatized and there is no way we can prevent this. Ama kuna any prevention ya kukua traumatized? Is there? How can we prevent it?
I wouldn't say ka kuna prevention because anyone at any level, at any point, anyone can get traumatized. No matter your experience, no matter vile umejitrain, you can get traumatized.
Okay, let's talk about now inner healing. You have cited so many examples of cases whereby someone was traumatized in the line of duty, or maybe an accident, or in relationship setting, in a family setting. How can okay, let's start with the family setting. These children, how can they get inner healing? How can they heal? How can they come out of these traumatic events or happenings that has happened in their life?
It's actually easy for a child kusaidika from trauma compared to an older person, but it is also very easy for a child to be impaired for life because of these traumatic experiences. Now, for a child, the advantage is that they're still growing. Their mind is still growing, so they really have space ya ku learn coping skills, towards those traumatic experiences or traumatic events. Now, if you know of a family where unajua these people, it's a kuna kuwaga na violence inaendelea within that family, then it's better you can create an association or a friend with that child, because huyo mtoi maybe hatapata, ni ngumu sana mtoi aende atafute mtu kwenda kuongea, but once you start to engage a child, they are very talkative, they are very friendly.
Yes.
And anaweza akakuopenia up on so many things. And actually once they start talking to you, it becomes easy for you to spot, okay, hapa huyu mtoi, he's really going through something, this is what I can do, this is how I can help. So it's easy wakati wewe umetengeneza a friend with that child, then it becomes easy for them to talk to you and for you to actually find a point of helping them.
Okay, how else can we help these children? Maybe they were being defiled. Maybe they were being heartbroken by the people they really trusted the most, that is their parents. They failed them. They did something that hawatakangi hata kufikiria. Sasa tu ukianza kumtajia ati najua yani ukimtajia hiyo kitu anasema hata kama ni mamangu mimi hata sitaki kumuona. Sasa mtoto tutamsaidiaje?
Okay. Vile unaweza msaidia, first you can try talking to them. Pia unajaribu kumwambia no matter what your parents did, they will still be your parents. Hata ikwe ni gani. So you try to talk some nini into them so that waone, of course nilifanyiwa vibaya, but this and this can change. This and this can work out. Please bado sijafika mwisho. That is not the end of life. So unajaribu to come close to them, trying to talk to them. Unajaribu to kukua close to them so that you know what they are thinking, what their feelings. Yeah.
So talking helps someone. What else?
Talking really helps. And you also have to train this child and let them know that they have choices that they have to make. Their parents made choices, and that is why they are in that situation that they are in. And the child also has choices that they have to make concerning their lives. Umtoi, they would have now to choose the kind of future that they would want. You'd have to show them the pros and cons that are within that family, and actually teach them that ukiwa mkubwa, this is what you can do differently. Raise up your family differently, even hivi. Also, because within those family setups, there are so many different things that can amount into that family being violent. You can actually peleka huyu mtoi to a counselor or someone who's a professional who would help this child walk that journey vizuri, because not everyone can offer advice, but not everyone can offer proper advice. Yeah.
Is walking away hiyo inasaidia?
Okay, walking away doesn't help. Doesn't solve the problem. Hiyo tu inakufanya like you just jumping out of the problem of which haijakusaidia. Still bado utakuja kupatana na that problem in the future. So working on that problem ndio ina help. Facing that problem, that will help than walking away.
So we have faced it with communication.
Well, okay, for me, probably I'd say walking away can help. Walking away can help because kuna instances zingine hata ukipigana you're just wasting your energy. You know, like ukiwa if I am married to someone mwenye ananinyorosha kila siku, I wouldn't stay in that marriage.
He just walk away.
Yeah, actually, there's someone who said if it costs you more than your mental health, then it's too expensive, and that's what people should really understand. If it costs you more than your mental health, like if inakusumbua tu sana, then you should just walk away.
But now, you know, you find that kuna hiyo point nafika unaona hapana, this is someone you've been married for 10 years, we have kids, sasa nitoke tu niende niwaache tu hivyo, let me just stay there for the sake of my children.
Now, that's the mistake that a lot of people who wanafanya. Unasema, let me stay because, or for the sake of the kids. But if you move away, would the kids still grow?
They will.
They will. That's the point. That unatafuta excuse ya wewe mwenyewe kukaa in that situation. But if you really like want to help yourself, you need to prioritize ni wapi utakuwa safer. Ukienda kutetea watoi wako, maybe vitu zitakuwa even more worse. But if you walk away, if you try a different approach, things might work out and unaweza pata someone better.
Okay. Okay, I will say before you walk away, you would have tried to work it out.
Okay, yeah, kuna hiyo aspect, you will try and work it
Yeah,
out.
you will try to work it out so that when it doesn't work completely, then you walk away.
Okay, how else this inner healing, it's a broader package, right? Apart from just talking it out, opening up to someone, going to a counselor, seeking for help, how else can we help these people?
Now, for people who have experienced a traumatic event in the past, it's actually important for you to remind them every time you get a chance, that whatever happened was in the past and right now they are safe. You know, because at times trauma can actually huwa inaenda ikigrow, and at times inafikaga point inakuwa, I know you guys have heard of PTSD, yes, post-traumatic stress disorder, and it's something that watu wengi pia sana hubattle nayo, because it's something that mtu alipitia traumatic event, but this traumatic event now comes to bite them later on in life. So if this person really doesn't know how to handle themselves when something erupts, inakuwa vigumu for them to live a normal life. That's why you'd find some people abusing alcohol because they want to feel better. But if you really want to feel better, you should draw your line and know nakunywa kwa sababu ya hii. Actually, drinking isn't a way of dealing with anything. So you should actually draw your line. I'm not going to drink alcohol. Have a daily routine. Have a way that you have structured your day, your week, the things that you want to achieve. Have them structured and written down, because it will actually help you to go and to deal with every day as it comes. People who are affected by trauma, at times inakwaga vigumu for them even to accomplish one day, because motivation inakuwa pia imeisha in their lives.
Okay, let's say someone was in an abusive relationship. Huyu mtu akisema hatawahi date, hatawahi olewa, amejisaidia, ameheal. Like refraining or from getting involved in dating or anything.
I don't think amejisaidia. Why? Kwa sababu it's like ameshindwa ku face that problem. As in amekubali ku live with the problem. Unaona? So all the times ni akona fear. Amekubali yani to stay with that problem, so hajakubali ku let it go. But the moment ata let it go, allow another relationship, that will have helped maybe.
Okay, let's wind up with psychological help from you. How can you help these guys?
Now, someone who has gone through trauma, at times it's not easy to live every other day, and you really have to give yourself time to heal. you have to allow yourself to feel those emotions, because at times watu huwa wanataka kuistore in. You are in a toxic relationship, but you don't want to open up about that toxic relationship. Unataka kukwama nayo ndani. But you should actually open up. Once you start to feel those emotions starting to come back, find someone you can talk to. Take a piece of paper, you can write down how you feel. And actually, kama utaki watu wapatane na hiyo piece of paper, ukishamalizana nayo, you can tear it down, unaweza ukaichoma, and it actually helps you deal with the emotions that you're feeling inside. But be true to yourself. Be true, like, wewe mwenyewe ndo unajijua. You are the only person that you cannot lie to. You cannot lie to yourself. So allow yourself to feel those emotions. Allow yourself to go through those experiences, and actually allow yourself to take every day as a new day. Whatever happened in the past, it happened. In as much as it was scary, in as much as it was dreadful, in as much as it cost you a lot of pain,
Yeah.
you just have to allow yourself to live every other day.
There's no medication for this.
Depending with the severity, kunaweza kuwa na medications, but these medications, they'll only treat the symptoms,
Okay.
but they won't treat the cause. So with the cause, you yourself, you just have to deal with it, or
Yeah.
find someone who can help you pinpoint that problem.
Thank you so much, guys, for coming. You've heard that acceptance is the first step to healing, right? You need to accept that you went through this happened, you accept, and then you move on. You speak it out, and don't die in your silence. Break the silence, find someone, talk to someone, open up, and you'll find help. So that is all we had for you guys. See you guys next week, same place, same time, and always keep it youth power.